Lions TV. We are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2024, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your post-match analysis video for Saturday's brilliant 3-1 win over Cardiff City at the Den. As always, let's kick off the show by taking a look at the 11 that Neil Harris picked to start the match. And there was only one change from the team that won in midweek against Leicester, also, of course, in SE16, and that was George Honeyman, injured and out. He limped off, didn't he? I think a shoulder injury, so obviously he didn't limp, but he waddled off in that game against Leicester in the second half, and he was replaced by Romain Esse quite early on in the second half, and Esse did really, really well when he came back on. And I did say in my preview that I thought Esse had done enough to get that shirt for a start, which is exactly what he did. We had a very strong bench on Saturday. Bradshaw, of course, back amongst it now. Kevin Nisbet on the bench, so a little bit more firepower if needed, which, fingers crossed, it's looking like it may now not be. Adam Mayer, Sean Hutchinson, Joe Bryan back on the bench. So a really strong bench as well. That was good to see. Kasper De Noor, Balkowski. I think I've named them all there. But yeah, strong bench. You get the message. And that was good to see as well. Back to near on full strength now, just in time for the season to finish. So let's get into the game. I know we scored early, and I said in my full-time reaction, you know, it was a game that I didn't feel for once under Neil Harris's reign this time around, that we hadn't dominated before we scored. But I know that was only 9 minutes in, but even in the opening minutes and the exchanges, it did seem to me that Cardiff, there was nothing against our boys. I didn't think they were slow starting or substandard. I just felt that Cardiff were quite a good side. They've got nothing to play for. So obviously, sometimes that can work either way. You can think, fuck this, not really interested. Or you can think, we can play with a bit of freedom here. Do you know what? I've got to give credit where credit's due as well. The Cardiff fans are absolutely fantastic. 1,400 of them came and made noise all afternoon, except for in the 94th minute where someone pulled the plug and there was a fire drill. But you couldn't really blame them for that. So fair play to Cardiff fans. Good noise from them. And as I said, as a team, I thought they knocked it around nicely in the early exchanges. They were dominating play. They were trying to get forward. They had one shot from distance where I'm going to defend Sarkic, because I was sitting right behind things, didn't I? I was right behind this one when it was hit from distance. And if you saw it on the iFollow or the YouTube highlights, you'll think, oh, you should have done better, because he parries it back into a really dangerous area. And luckily for us, no Cardiff players were following up. But in his defence, I was right behind it, and the movement on that ball was ridiculous. You know, I still like to see him hold that. Of course I would. And we'll get on to something that he didn't hold a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, in his defence, it did move all over the place. And he done quite well to get his hand on it in that instance. So lucky for us that no Cardiff players were following up. Then we score a goal pretty much out of nothing. It comes from a Sarkic kick. Longman gets the flick on over by the dugouts. He gets headed back towards the halfway line. And then Saville heads it forward. And then from that point, it's a goal. We scored 2, maybe 3 goals on Saturday, which is the sort of goal where I always say this. I watch the EFL show or the ITV4 show, whatever it is now, and I think, why don't we score goals like that? We've been treated to some really, why don't we score goals like that goals this week, haven't we? Of course, Ryan Longman's welding goal of the season without doubt against Leicester. But this was, in my opinion, as good as, because yes, Longman went on a nice run after a good forward pass from Billy Mitchell and Cole into the top corner. But this was a lot more difficult, a lot more happened in the pattern of play, more people involved, and in really tight areas as well. It's brilliant play from Obafemi. He just chests it down to Fleming, and then he spins straight away. Fleming, side foot volley straight over the top. Obafemi gets in front of his man, good strength, heads it down into the area on the angle. This was one I wasn't right behind for once, and I was, on side on with it, and I thought he's gone very wide down. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to cut back in, and he just fucking puts his laces through it. I don't know whether he's learned from over the previous 2 or 3 games where he's tried to side foot it and caress it into the net, or whether it was because he used to be a Swansea player and he got shit from the Cardiff fans all afternoon. But this extra little bite and a bit of bounce that he had about himself was really, really good. And as I said in my video, I think full time, that it's coming good just in time for him for the season to end. Him to go back to Burnley and us to never see him again. But he puts his laces through it from an angle. It's a brilliant strike, near post, yes, for the goalkeeper, but well deserved. He had his dreadlocks down for once, and he really did stick that away with the mark of an outstanding striker. So we're 1-0 up, and then we're in control. We get forward a couple of more times and threaten them sort of with balls into the box, etc., without really, converting our chances, and nothing really majorly to threaten their goalkeeper. And then they equalised. This was one I was also right behind. However, I was streaming at the time, and it's rare I miss a goal. I didn't miss it in real time. I saw it go in the net. I saw the header, and I saw it go in, but it's right the other end from us. Loads of bodies in the way and in the box. And again, look, I'm going to have to blame Sarkic here. There's no other explanation for it. When it went in, you see Tanganga do that. I just say, what the fuck? And you actually saw Ryan Leonard say, what the fuck? And scream at him. I don't want to keep blaming him. I was really happy that he's improved lately. However, I've got to be honest with you, and I'm genuinely, hand on heart, I was gutted for him, really, when it went in. And he's got away with one again there because we've won the game. So, let's not dwell on it now. But free kick, okay, that wasn't his fault, conceded by George Saville, I think. Cross comes into the box. Man gets above, I think, Tanganga and Kub. I think they both try and challenge. And he gets his header at goal from about 7 yards out on the angle. Okay, that's not his fault. But at this point, this is where your goalkeeper just goes boom. And we've seen it a million times. Things seem to go through him. And he parries it when he could have caught it. And instead of parrying it wide, he pushes it sort of sideways and backwards into the net. Goalkeeper error, absolutely 100% nailed on. And as you know, if you watch the channel regularly, I am a sucker for a goalkeeper error. Tim Flowers. Some of you youngsters might not know who Tim Flowers is. Tim Flowers played for Southampton and then Blackburn when they won the Premier League back in the day, long time ago, showing my age. Tim Flowers was my favourite goalkeeper growing up, and he would have played a lot of games for England if it wasn't for the fact that David Seaman was about and just slightly better than him, and also played for a bigger club in Arsenal, along with the majority of the Arsenal back four in England set up at the time. And he once said, and I've said this before, I know, but I'm going to say it again. He said, as a goalkeeper, it's not about who makes the most saves, it's about who makes the least mistakes. And unfortunately, as a goalkeeper, as we know, if you're a midfielder, the ball goes through your foot, goes to the defenders. Defender fucks up, they're in on goal, but they've got to beat the goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's a goal. And it gets highlighted to the maximum. And 100%, you got away with one Sarkic in a full-time reaction, because I had to watch it back. 1,000,000% the goalkeeper's got to be saving that. But he'll know that. And he's got this Rick in him. Now, again, I said I was gutted from a minute ago, and I genuinely mean that, because we paid a lot of money for him by our standards, over £1 million, I think. He's young for a goalkeeper. Was he 27? Something like that. I think maybe even younger than that. 27-ish. So he's not going anywhere. So I need Sarkic to do well. I want Sarkic to do well. You all need and want Sarkic to do well. So he's had a run of games now, and I'll get on to Longman in a minute because he's improving with a run of games. Sarkic has had that now. He's had injuries at the start, yes, but now he's beyond that. Bart's probably going to leave the club at the end of the season, which leaves us with the new Ryan Sanford, Mr. Conall Truman, who cracks me up. When they do the videos of the players coming into the ground, the players sort of walk down the tunnel into the dressing room and give that Conall Truman's like, come on. Like, I don't know, is he the joker in the pack? That's his part to play. But, yeah, I'm worried because I think Sarkic is always going to have that Rick in him. He does pull off some fantastic saves. His distribution, knocking it around the back's okay. His kicks off the floor, he kicks a few out of play, didn't he? I'm not so bothered about that. As you know, I want my goalkeeper to primarily be able to save the ball. I don't want it to be like George Long, an NFL kicker that can't save a fucking thing. So, yeah, it's still not 100% sold on Sarkic and Cardiff get the equaliser. I was nearly going to say go in at half-time 1-1, but of course, as we know, we go up the other end and we score a second goal. I mean, there's no bad time to score a goal in football, is there? And every time's a good time. But to get it, maybe a cliche, right on half-time, that can change everything. That can change momentum, confidence. It can change a manager's half-time team talk. If you're the Cardiff manager, more of the same. All of a sudden, he's walking in 30 seconds later. He's got to change his team talk. So, yeah, brilliant time to score. It comes from a corner which gets headed out. Romain Esse snatched at it and sort of give it back to them in the process. One of their players knocks it forward and three of them go to break. But the one that knocks it forward knocks it far too far in front of him. And Danny Mack's back there. By the way, shout out to Danny Mack. He has been absolutely fucking brilliant of late. At left back, playing out of position, got dropped out the side for a long time. Probably his confidence took a hit, getting a lot of shit from the fans along with Billy Mitchell. And he's been, they've all been brilliant lately. And again, that's what now? That's 13 points out of a possible 15 at the Den. since Neil Harris's return. It's absolutely crazy stats. And I'll nick this one again off the Actung podcast. Nick, I've been right into that again lately. If you don't listen to that, it's definitely worth a listen because I like to talk to people and get their thoughts on the game before I do this post-match and process everything. What Nick's now doing on his show is he's putting out, in effect, fan cams. People just calling up and leaving voice notes and their thoughts on the game. And there's loads and loads of them, and they're really good to get other people's, thoughts and opinions. And one guy on there, sorry, but I don't know who he was, but he said, since Neil Harris is a stat something along, since Neil Harris has returned this time around, his points tally, if continues into next season, we'll see us on something like 72 points next year. I know it probably won't happen, but again, for those who feel that Neil Harris should do this job and walk and doesn't deserve that stab again next season, I think you're totally wrong. You can't take that away from him if he wants to do it. But look, getting back to the game, Romain Esse takes a swipe at it, and then it gets clear. Danny Mack retrieves it, puts it to Leonard. Leonard knocks it to the byline right in front of where we sit, and Esse clips one up. They all go up, and I had to watch the replay back again to see it was actually Ryan Longman that flicks it on, and Cooper ain't scored for fucking ages, the big giraffe. I love him. He meets it on the half volley and fires it into the roof of the net. It's another brilliant goal. It's another really, really good goal. And we take the lead. Romain Esse was replaced at half-time in favour of Duncan Watmore. He did go down a couple of times. He was in the wars in the first half, and I assumed that was a false change. Neil Harris has since come out and said it wasn't. It was a tactical change. Now, Romain Esse, let's chat about him a little bit. I said this a million times before. I don't think that Romain Esse is anywhere near the level a lot of you think he is. And I don't think a lot of you that does think he is, I don't know how you warranted that because he hasn't played many games. I'm not criticising Esse, okay? I think he's a brilliant talent for us and could be a fantastic player. But let's be honest, he's done nothing other than score a goal at Middlesbrough on the opening day. He's done nothing to warrant all of you thinking he's an unbelievable player. You've probably seen a few clips of him playing for England under-19s. So when you see him, he was getting a bit of shit on Saturday, giving the ball away, get him off, that he's young and he needs games. And that's what's going to happen. He's not as good as a lot of you think he is. However, he could be, and there's definite potential. And I'm glad he's in the side, and I'm glad he's a Millwall player. But I just think, I'm not criticising him. I'm just saying, call the Jets on it a little bit because he is young. And we always say, we never bring players through. We never give them the opportunity, and we win all these youth cups and leagues. And why do we never give them? Well, potentially that's why. He don't need fucking 17,000 Millwall fans baying for blood if he misplaces a pass or two. But look, he was replaced at half-time, and we was 2-1 up. Now, the second half, I always say this, and I said it during the live stream, first 10 minutes or so, not a lot goes on. It's a little bit of nothingness while people are having their beers and coming back. But I felt in the second half, we managed the game very, very well. I don't ever really feel we was in threat from Cardiff. They had one shot from distance, which Sarkic saves easily. Up the other end, we had two good chances. Good run from Watmore, cuts inside, gives it to Fleming. Fleming shot from distance. Keeper probably should have got across a bit quicker, in my opinion. He parries it wide. And then another one from Obafemi where he turns left foot, strikes. It's a really good save into the other side from their goalkeeper. And then, I think 7 minutes, added 5, I think it was. At no real point that I feel he's in danger. I thought we kept the ball well. I thought our game management was excellent. And then right at the end, credit again, to the substitutes that are coming on. Norton Cuffy, his tackle flies in. I think it might have been from Leonard. Although, by the way, Tanganga's turned into a fucking animal, and I deeply regret saying that he wouldn't be good enough to play for Bromley because he's flying now. I'd love to keep him, but again, unlikely that might happen. But that's another video for another day. He was flying into slide tackles, winning the ball, bouncing up, and then travelling and taking us forward and starting off attacks. But I think it was Leonard on this occasion goes into a tackle or clips one forward, and then Norton Cuffy sort of goes into a block tackle. And then what he probably should do, if his game management wants to be spot on, he's take it into the corner flag. But he's got no intention of doing so. He puts the burners on, outpaces the defender. He puts it across goal, okay? And Duncan Watmore is there, takes it in his stride, composed, and slots it in. Now, I'm not grassing us up here by any stretch. It gives me great pleasure to say, I'm going to put it on the screen now, Duncan Watmore is about 3 yards offside. He is miles offside. He's absolutely miles offside. There's no one, by the way, out of shot because I've rolled the video on, over in right back position for them. And fuck it, we get away with one and we don't get away with nowhere near as many as we should. and it goes the other way for us, as we know. So 3-1. I didn't notice that until I listened to Cole Bates play it back when I played it back. Sorry, on the replay, watching it back. Cole Bates said, "Oh, what was Miles offside?" He said, "No, he scored." And he scores, and he does his Cristiano Ronaldo celebration, whips the shirt off. Did Cristiano Ronaldo whip his shirt off? I'm sure he has. But what was trimmer anyway, and they've definitely been on the sunbeds, the Ginger Ninja. 3-1. By the way, that commentary I mentioned for Cole Bates, I only found that because my mate, James Dorney, his dad, Alan Dorney, ex-Millwall legend, we grew up in the same area. We both played for Long Lane when we was kids. He was a couple of years, 2-3 years younger than me. His son was doing the Junior Lions takeover day, and he was doing a commentary, and it was fucking absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to try and get him onto a Lions TV live stream, and he's going to sit in with me. Hopefully the Plymouth game, last game of the season, if I can get him in our box, if there's any spaces. It's really good. I'm sure you've seen it. It's all over social media. Results pretty much go our way elsewhere, and we are now 6 points above the drop. I watched Benjamin Bloom earlier, did a live stream with Sam Parkin. I'm sure Sam Parkin, did he have a couple of games on loan at us? I think he might have done. And he explained it in a way. He said, Huddersfield needs 7 points from 3 games. Who else is down there? Sheffield Wednesday needs 7 points from 3 games. And Birmingham needs 6 from 3 games to have any chance of catching Millwall. We are 200 to 1 to go down now with the bookies. So we go to Sunderland next week. We win, we're safe. It's as simple as that. If we don't win, we still could be safe. If we lose the game, we could still be safe. It depends on Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday because their goal differences are far, far inferior to ours. And that's your post-match analysis done. I hope you've enjoyed it. I didn't do it yesterday because Saturday, thanks for all the donations, by the way. I did spend the money on the Copperbergs as promised. And I had a really good night Saturday night. And yesterday, me and my mate stayed at their house on Saturday night. And we sat on the sofa, pulled the bit in where you can put your legs up. And we sat like the 2 grandparents from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We did not move because we couldn't because we was too hungover. And we just ate loads of food and just watched all the football. So there you go. Good time for returning to Den. It's brilliant again under Harris. People saying, oh, it's boring under Harris. It definitely isn't. We get results. We may not play fantastic football, but the way we play is the Millwall way, and it just turns into a battle. And a battle, like we should be, 9 times out of 10 at Millwall Football Club in SC16, should be winning. And we did. But that's enough waffling from me. I'm going to try and get a video in every day this week. I've been trying to line up Lions Lounge lockdowns for the summer, and I've got 4 or 5. I won't name them yet. I'm going to get them filmed first, and they're all going to go out as soon as I've edited them. Advert free for the members. I'm going to stick them on the members page straight away on YouTube, and then I'll stagger them out one by one weekly throughout the summer. So we've got some content. Of course, we are doing the Euros in here, and we have secured a sponsorship for that. So all systems go for the Euros. But saying about the membership, if you're not a member, it's $2.99 a month. If you want to become a member, you can do so by clicking the link in the description below. As I said, you get your previews early, you get your lockdowns early, you get priority comments on the live streams that we do from here. Although I am going to Sunderland again on Saturday because I'm all in now until it's over. But also these 4 to go, 3 to go, 2 to go. It could be the last one this week. But I popped to the den this morning. Now, if you're a member, I've bought these to give away. They were £45, reduced to 15. That one is an XL. And this one is the same. Brand spanking new. That one is a small. I picked one up. It said, when I went to the counter, 15 quid as well. And coupon on the back. I went, hang on, mate, it's 30 quid. I went, no, it's 48 quid because that's got coupon on the back. I said, take that one back. Not that for a lot, coupon, but not that much. So 2 shirts for our next 2 giveaways. We give one away last week, and you can become a member and get the opportunity to try and win shirts going forward. We'll keep all going throughout the summer, the Euros, etc., etc. And as I said, you can do that by clicking the link in the description below. That's tomorrow. We're going to try and get a podcast in this week again. Normal service resumed and everyone's smiling. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.